kick off. Well, good evening, I'm Hugh, and welcome to the Product of the Year Awards 2013 at One Marylebone on behalf of Product of the Year, and also our sponsors TNS and Media Partners The Sun, Woman's Own, Net Mums, and the Haymarket Media Group. So, welcome to all of you. Can I just, because I earn most of my living from talking comedy, obviously, like the week. I'd just like you to do one thing for me, just so I can sort of target my material for later on in the evening. It's a slightly odd thing. I don't want you to think about it too much, but it would really just help me. So, would you mind, please, all just laughing like pirates? Yeah, normally I say 1, 2, 3, and then, which I will do. Okay, 1, 2, 3. That is very, very interesting. Very interesting. You obviously have no idea that most pirates are now from Somalia. I'll probably do whatever I want. Anyway, you're also having a very good time. Please tell me that none of you are driving home. That's the only thing I'm worried about. None of you? Good. I live down near Chichester on the south coast. It's a very famous story where I live about that. There was an archdeacon of Chichester, a very senior guy at the cathedral. He loved to drink. And he was stopped. It's a very famous story down there. He was stopped once on the A27 coming home. And the policeman led into the car and said to the archdeacon, he was sitting there with his wife, said, "Can you please tell me, sir, where you have been?" And the archdeacon said, "Yes. Yes, I can. I have been at a function. I have been at a function in Brighton." And the bishop said, "Very good. And can you please tell me where you're going?" He said, "Yes. I am on my way to Bognor Regis." Bognor Regis. And the policeman let him go and drove off. And the archdeacon then drove off. And as he drove off, his wife turned to him and said, Why did you say we were going to Bognor Regis? We don't live in Bognor Regis. I've never been to Bognor Regis. I don't like Bognor Regis. Why did you say we were going to Bognor Regis? And the archdeacon said, "I said we were going to Bognor Regis because I knew I would not be able to say Chichester." That's great. Oh, yeah. That's my second favourite being stopped by the policeman. My favourite one is, it goes for Radio 2, so come back to me. It goes for Radio 2 called It's Been a Bad Week, where you found people that had terrible weeks to cheer people up in the room who'd had bad weeks, and you found people who'd had worse weeks than they had in a sort of schadenfreude thing. And this was a story of a bloke being stopped for doing 104 on the M4 by a policeman. And the policeman said to him, "Could you please tell me why you were going so fast?" And this bloke said, "Well, see, the thing is, my wife's getting pregnant in about 20 minutes. Yeah. And I want to be there when it happens." It's great. Anyway, the reason I am here, I was here last year, but the reason I am here is because, my secret, fairly well-known secret, is that I used to work in Fmcg, and I used to work for Unilever, and I was the brand manager of Lynx for 4 years. What a cracking brand that is. I now get a tiny Unilever pension when the time comes, so keep buying, thanks. The reason they're really buying is because they think I have a connection with you because of that. And I'm not sure I do, because I wasn't actually that good at it, I don't think, to be honest. And the basic things I remember are certain things about targeting and, pricing and packaging, but mainly the thing I remember mostly is a tip I was once given about how not to be told off when your boss finds you asleep at your desk. And this is a technique I remember, and I will now pass on to you as a tip. If you have fallen asleep at your desk, and your boss comes in to give you a bollocking of whatever sort, what you do is this, right? So you're asleep at your desk now, right? Your boss walks in and you do this. You go, "Amen." There was another slightly weirder one, which I didn't think would ever work, but I was also told this. If you are a secret your desk, the other thing to do is actually go, I hear horses. 50 BBC, that one doesn't really work very well. The other thing they think I understand is consumers, because for anyone in Fmcg, obviously the biggest pain really is consumers. You absolutely rely on them, but you've got no idea really how they're going to behave. And it's a tremendous frustration when you put something you think is fantastic into qualitative research, and these ill-informed people come back with some completely different idea. So I think it's very important that you are encouraged. And so what I've decided to do before I came here was I tried to find people who had worse consumers than you lot have. And it doesn't happen in Fmcg so much. So I looked up some complaints that had come into Thomas Cook from holidaymakers who had been abroad, then written in to complain about their holiday. And this really, in a Schadenfreude way, really should cheer you up. There are three of them. The first one is brilliant. Genuine letters, Thomas Cook said. It took us 9 hours to get home from Jamaica to England. It only took the Americans 3 hours to get home. These are the people you're dealing with. I bought a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses in a street market for £2.50. Only to find out they were fake. It's unbelievable. It's my favourite. Genuine letter from someone coming back from a holiday in Barbados, right? And it reads, yes, no one told us there would be fish in the sea. The children were startled. Might as well have complained about the hotel being 1,000 times bigger than it was in the photograph. That's Anyway, I am. I hope that cheers you up. The other thing that I'm delighted to be here, of course, is because I love being with winners, and that's what you are. That's why you're here. Well, most of you are here. Some of you are winners, some of you are nominees, and some of you are losers. But that's good enough. That's good enough for me. I should get along. I should say that I do love presenting awards. I absolutely love it. And in the past year since I've been, I've presented many. I presented the National Truancy Awards. There's no one there. And the National Anti-Terrorism Awards. No one dared open the envelope. Anyway, I do also do a lot of public speaking, and again, I know you have to do lots of presentations, brand presentations, launch presentations, selling into national sales forces, all this kind of stuff. And again, if I can pass on any tip from my world of work, it is this. I will, offer you up this word of advice of the great Welsh orator and philosopher, in fact, Owen Landauer. He's a man on whom I have relied. And Owen Landauer says, and I quote, "Na'n galach Alach marach mo, kain galach arach paran po." And I think that's as true today as it has ever been. I also do. I know there are a lot of senior executives, budding senior executives in the room, and I would say I also do coach senior executives for public speaking. I've coached many others. Coached a CEO, a CFO, a COO, and on one occasion the head of the agricultural division, the CIEIO. Well, I won't use that one again, but that's... but anyway, that's... yeah. And now we're going to get on with these awards, which are tremendously important. In fact, I now understand that in Hollywood, they are calling the Oscars the Product of the Year Awards, or the Year Awards. I put an extra word in for some reason. The Oscars, they're calling them the Product of the Year Awards for the entertainment industry. That's how important these awards now are. So to present, they are genuinely important. So to present this first set of awards, can I please ask Mike Nolan, is the CEO, not CFO or CIEIO, but he is the CEO of Product of the Year, and Jane Hamilton, Consumer Writer of the Sun, to please come to the stage.